just come from Taunton, which is a 5-hour trek, and we're doing some shots, lifestyle shots, and trying to make the most of this beautiful weather.
Oh no!
Yes, you can. We do it normally. Just do it. Come on. When we slipping goose shit.
Yeah.
Hip surgery
You sure?
3.
You
Yes,
sure
come
it's
on.
not?
Come on.
Okay.
Go.
1, 2.
Go. No. Go on, have a joke. Go on. Go on. 1, 2, go. What's wrong with you? Fuck you, what you been eating today, woman?
No, put me down.
No, come on, let's just get this shot.
Love you. You don't believe the love you gave. I can take the pain away right now. I pray for the worst to go. Tomorrow will be kind to you. Otibala wa father. Otibala wa. You done been through hell, I just wanna bring you back. Heaven is a drug you don't wanna do without. Loving you is diamonds and you saw all of that. You deserve all the love you.
I like your dance moves.
So we're down here at Good Bodies, which is my local gym, and today is my first training session kind of back in the gym after my second surgery. I had surgery back in December, then again in end of January, and we're now 3 weeks post-op. So yeah, lost a lot of weight. I'm a bit nervous about being in there. But what I'm going to do is be taking my bicep Amino Grow, which if any of you follow me before, you'll know that I've been taking this for a good 7 years now. So this is quite an old product from USN, but it's a must-have for me.
Just chilling.
I'm used to it.
It's alright.
We'll start getting busy, won't it? I'll just take over the old sales.
Just concentrate on them. I'm in the world of my own.
Good ball at me. Techers.
Yeah, alright.
Let's go. So as part of my rehabilitation stage after the second hip operation, I've got to do numerous stretches, and the first one we're going to do is hip flexors. So we're going to try and stretch off the front of the hip. So it's nothing major. Well, that's my operated hip. I'm just going to lean forward as we do. We're going to push our hips forward and get a slight stretch on the front of the hip. Nothing overstretched, and then we relax. We'll go back in. So I have to do these exercises twice to 3 times daily, so it's quite laborious, I'm not going to lie. Especially being in the gym as well, it is absolutely killing me, seeing all these weights, these machines, and not really being able to do anything. But It's all part of it, and hopefully I'll get back to full fitness very, very soon. So that's the hip flexors. We're going to stretch piriformis muscle, back of the hamstrings as well. So we're going to lean back, we're going to get the operated knee, operated leg, and then we're going to push gently, not too far, just so I get a good stretch on my hamstrings and my piriformis. So we hold for 5 seconds, and we release, we go again. Well, this is actually a really good exercise as well, so not only for rehab, but for before legs or after legs as well, just to elongate your hamstring and really stretch your piriformis muscle. That's that. Funnily enough, this hip is always a lot tighter. I think it's because obviously I'm weight bearing more on my left now because of my right hip. And as well, the key to this is don't just think you have to push against it and that's it. Just feel around. So if you want to move slightly, the best stretch, just try and find the best position for stretching. So again, we're going to try and stretch off, keep this mobile. We're going to lift up and squeeze in. Get a good stretch. And back down. So again, there's no resistant work just yet, it's own body weight. I have to do 10 of these with a 5-second hold. And I have to do all these exercises twice, 3 times daily. Then we're going to focus on quad activation to make sure blood's still firing there and all acting right. So it's quite simple. We go from here and we squeeze our quads, then relax. Squeeze our quads, then relax. Squeeze. Yep. Then we're going to do hamstring activation. So we plant our heel into the floor. And what we try and do, we try and pull our foot back without pulling the foot back. So we're going to activate the hamstring, lift the toe up, activate the hamstring, then relax. Activate again, then relax. Activate. All these exercises have to be without any pain. So if you're feeling mass pain, I've got to stop. All okay so far. This one's a funny one if you're doing this in the gym as well. So this one is for your glutes. Make sure your glutes are firing right. It's just a bit of a hip thrust. Especially if you're in a backstreet sort of gym like this. It's not the best of exercises to do. And then we're going to do lower abdominals and hip flexors. So it's literally coming up, tensing your abs and pushing your hips into the floor. This is actually a really good exercise for competing because it's called an isotension training. So you're actually contracting your midsection, keeping it tight, and it's great for when you're on stage, holding your abs tight. Everyone always says to me, how do I keep control of my abs for a long period of time on stage? How do I make it look effortless? And that is what I do. I basically, 8 weeks out from a show, I constantly do isotension where I'm exhaling all the air out of my abs, crunching as hard as I can. So I've got control of it, and it brings your waist in and gets you a lot harder and a lot tighter through your midsection. So because I'm not training abs at all at the minute, this is my version of a little ab training as well. So that's all the exercises. That's all the rehab work done. There's one other one I can do, which I'm going to do is just to stretch all that area off. You need to go against the flat wall. And this is what's quite frustrating for me with the hip operation, because I'm still getting a lot of pain in my hip, like stupid pain at the minute. But all those exercises I can do with ease, and stuff like this as well. Is it showing good flexibility, mobility in my hips, getting a nice stretch through here. Yeah, no pain, nothing, and I feel good when it comes to this. It's when I'm putting pressure on my right leg. So unfortunately, we're still umming and ahhing what we're going to do with it. I've got to go and see a specialist again next week. But yeah, these are the exercises. Nothing too exciting, but we are 3 weeks post-operation, and we just keep doing this slowly but surely, recovering. Is that shit?
No.
What?
No, it's just the way you were cracking up.
Hey up. That's it, look. And then I have to do a bit on the bike. Get that for Gymshark. Critical. So this is one thing they have told me I have to do twice to 3 times daily. So it's 15 minutes on the Recumber bike, and it's just again to keep mobility in my my hips, trying to get full mobility back. We started off doing 10 minutes no resistance. Each week we're increasing the resistance and increasing the time that I'm doing it as well. So we're up to about 15 minutes with a resistance of about 5, whereas 2 weeks ago I was 10 minutes with no resistance. So we're improving in slow increments. I can't help myself, I always do that. I never know how to finish it. Right guys, so this is the new protein from USM. It's an isolate hydrolysate and whey concentrate blend. So it's perfect first thing in the morning or straight after training. The reason for that is it's very low in carbs and it's a fast active protein. So when you fasted while sleeping over 8 hours, you want to try and get nutrients back into the body as quickly as possible. So a whey protein or an isolate or a hydrolysate would be perfect first thing in the morning, because it's into the system within an hour. Same as after training. You've depleted all your glycogen stores and you want to start the repair of the muscle as soon as possible. So whey protein is a great protein for post-workout. If you're dieting, it's awesome because it's very low in sugar, low carbs, and you can add carbs to it. And that's what I tend to do. I normally add Vitargo or multidextrin to post-workout shakes. It's 25 grams per scoop. I normally go for around 2 scoops, around 50 grams. Granted, my body probably won't consume all that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And if I can get 40 grams out of it, I'm happy. And it always tastes better when you double up. That's the rule of thumb, innit? Always double up. It says take 1, you take 2. 1 scoop, you take 2 scoops. And also, as you saw, look at the flavour, Whey-tella. It's like Nutella. I guarantee it, when you're 2 weeks out from a show, it is the best thing since sliced bread. Honestly. Cut. This camera, chicken and salmon. So, as you could see earlier on in the vlog, I just finished training. That was my first attempt at training after my second operation. As you can see, we're just doing more of a superset workout because I didn't want to go crazy, obviously my first time, just testing the hip, making sure I'm not putting anything through my hips, keeping it all in my biceps. It was nice to train with Amy. It's the first time we have done for a long time. So yeah, it was nice. It was good to see her progress. Obviously, we're going towards the wedding. That's her kind of prep for the wedding, and we are 6 weeks out. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But now we're in the kitchen and we need to get some nutrients back in the body. We've had a protein shake post-workout, but now it's about getting solid food back in. So because we're in late evening, we're going to go for a salmon sauce. For me, I think that's one of the most essential protein sources in a diet. If you don't like salmon, you could always look towards another fatty fish like mackerel. and you'd aim for that in your last meal of the day. So even if I'm prepping for a show or if I'm off season, salmon will be always a staple part of my diet, but it'll always be later on in the evening. I tend to add a red meat as well in the evening, again high in protein and high in fats as well as I go into the evening. All depends where I'm on prep or if I'm off season on if I have carbs in this meal, but at the minute it's not essential, so we're having quite a lot of carbs. Our go-to carbs is white basmati rice. It's personal preference whether you go for brown or white, but for me I just prefer the taste of white, and there's not much difference in release. Greens, very important to get your greens in every meal. Even if you don't like greens, you'll learn to love them if you're having them every meal. So for me, my go-to is asparagus. It's a natural diuretic, so it's good for basically getting water retention off and things like that. Green beans is just another form of fibre. Spices, this is my go-to for all three. We've got pink Himalayan salt, which is your best form of salt for using for cooking. We've got garlic, adding a lot of taste, but it's not adding any calories or anything like that. And paprika, just to add a bit of a kick to it. I tend to stay away from sauces as much as I can. On prep I don't have them at all, but off prep I have a little bit, because obviously it's not great to have bland food constantly, but I try and get my taste buds and whatnot flowing through spices rather than sauces. So yeah, let's crack on. A bit of paprika. I normally cook all my my meats on the barbecue, even in winter. If it's snowing, I still always do it. But today we run out of gas at the barbecue, so we're on the oven patrol. And what I do, I never really cook one meal off. If ever I'm using, or if ever I'm cooking, using all the kitchen utensils, I'll cook as much as I can. Obviously, one set of dishes, and yeah, utilising the electricity. So. Chicken in there, salt in there, asparagus, that's not going to go in. Howlers with that. Boom. I'm giving a little help, aren't I? On my side. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yes, I know. Mummy ignoring you. Mummy ignoring you.
I'm ignoring him, he's ignoring me. He's more interested in the kitchen.
Can hear Amy in the back. Sod off, just cook my food for you already. Yes, Mum. Getting used to married life, eh? This is what we've resorted to. Gym life. Yeah. You know how I got that? That was from a fan who was we were on Virgin Atlantic, and he was the manager of, like the air stewardess manager. And he come up and he was a fan of mine. He showed me all the workouts he saved from my website and everything like that. And as a thank you for the inspiration, he gave me a bottle of Grey Goose. So yeah, Virgin Atlantic, yeah, probably weren't happy with that, but that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Then the next time we went, he bumped us up to first class. So one at Amy, bumped us up to first class. And then the third time he gave us 2 bottles of champagne. I was like, oh, this is getting a bit bad now, we better not do this. I know. I hadn't named his name though. Voila! So we've got salmon, white rice, green beans, and then this is all left over ready for tomorrow and the day after. Easy. That'll do one.
Sit.